Alright, welcome back to The Italian Job from 2003, which is a remake of the original from 1969. If you did not know, I said before, movie remakes have been common since the 1970s. No surprise there, okay? So nice intro. There's a video game for this movie as well, which came out on PS1. You can see this girl waking up, Stella Bridger, played by Charlize Theron, as she gets a call from her dad, John Bridger, played by Donald Sutherland. So he's sending Stella a present, as well as him being in Venice, Italy. So of course the job's going to take place in Italy. And she asks for a Charlie Croker. And here we meet the protagonist of the movie, Charlie Croker, played by Mark Wahlberg this time. This time you have an American Charlie Croker.
And you said I would have fun.
Alright, next scene we see two other guys that are part of the Italian Job. One of them being Handsome Rob, played by Jason Statham, back when he still had some hair on his head. We also meet Left Ear, played by Mos Def, who's a rapper too. And we also meet Lyle, played by Seth Green, the tech nerd. And finally, the last guy for the job, Steve, played by Edward Norton. So Steve paints the exact way Lyle tells him to. So painting is now done as Left Ear puts the explosive device there too and does this. So that was smart. And now this calls in that the safe has been stolen, and what's weird is what you see here. Now a police boat has been sent out, and even the Italian guys are now stuck into this pile of dirt. Now fast forward to the snow part of Italy. I don't know what it's called. Honestly, my geography is terrible. And honoring Charlie. So they each now get to share what they will do with their share of the gold bars with Payne, and now John has a chat with Charlie.
The ones who steal to enrich their lives, and the ones who steal to define their lives.
Next scene, they're in a van going somewhere as Lyle brings up Rob being like Don Johnson from Miami Vice. Have you seen that show? I've seen a few episodes. And now for the moment of truth.
Hey! Take your hands off the wheel. Steve!
I mean, I'm not surprised there's always a rat in a team job. So Steve shoots John, and Rob brings the car down into the icy cold river as Steve continues to shoot and sees John's body floating to the surface. To Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and sees Stella Bridger doing a job for the FBI. And now she's getting back to her workplace, driving her red custom Mini Cooper, which will come in handy, and it is similar to the one Michael Caine used in the original Italian Job. Yeah.
Charlie Croker.
Hey, Stella.
And she's pissed off walking into her office to see her dad, John Bridger, died in front of Charlie. But he tells her that he found Steve hiding in Los Angeles somewhere. So later that night, Stella's back at home thinking about Charlie's offer of seeking revenge on Steve. So next scene, the phone is ringing as Charlie and Rob playing basketball to call in that she's in to get to Steve. Charlie mentioned a safe called the Worthington 1000. And now the next one, Charlie and Stella ride in her car as they're here to meet with everyone for the upcoming job and to crack the Worthington 1000. So starting off with Lyle, the computer genius, and a flashback of him from college starting a company called Napster.
Said Sean Fanning was his roommate in college and stole his idea.
Okay, funny shit there. Next is Left Ear, the explosives guy, and now on to a story of why he's called Left Ear.
Whoa! Yeah, that was cool. How'd you do that?
So now you know why he's called Left Ear. Now Handsome Rob in his flashback, who is the driver of the job. Now Charlie's turn of how he got his start as he goes back to his childhood with this bully.
Hey, what's your problem, man?
And now they all greet each other, and now Charlie tells Rob to help Lyle ride the bikes. And now at the same time, the four guys are having a meetup about the job, and now Stella walks in since she's new and the only locksmith for the job, or a safecracker, as Rob tells her to not get so cocky. So now on to Union Station, Los Angeles, as Handsome Rob is waiting in traffic.
I had a bad experience. Damn it, I'm deaf.
And now for some comedy with this actor pretending to be at this audition.
Put in your badge and your weapon. Great! I don't want to see you anywhere near this.
I must break you.
Okay, that wasn't really the job. It was just a test. As they all meet back up again, as Rob is discussing the time it took for him to stay in traffic and to beat it. And the only way to beat it is to make all the lights green, all the street lights green, traffic lights green. Okay, next scene late at night as we see Steve bring in the stolen gold bars for cash, from the Italian job, as he is scared of if he's being recorded. So Yevon here, the buyer, can only afford 2 gold bars right now, leaving Steve pissed off. Next scene, the crew are spying outside Steve's house and notice that Steve watches a lot of TV. And back at Stella's apartment as she is practicing to open the Worthington 1000 soon inside Steve's house. So he tells her that she could go in as a locksmith since Steve thinks Charlie, Rob, Lefty, and Lyle are all dead.
You want to get a drink downstairs with me before I go back to my room?
I should finish this stuff up, you know?
Next morning we see Lyle and Rob again inside the car. But they're really there to spy on the only repair woman and to steal her uniform.
Nice name. I wonder what she calls the other one.
And it's such a mystery why you don't have a girlfriend, Laura.
Nice to meet you. I'm Handsome Rob. And you,
Oh, my name's Becky, but it's written...
So what does Rob do? Of course, he has to do it naturally. And it does work. The next morning he's at her house after takes a print of her van key and takes Becky's uniform. As Stella is now Becky for the day, as Lefty is posing as an electrician, and now turns off the cable and Wi-Fi. They hear Steve's security call up. The cable company with an appointment for Thursday, but Charlie steps in and calls in the security to tell him that, pretending to be part of the cable company, that Steve can get his cable back sooner today. So Lyle tries to attach the American flag pin on her, which is really a camera.
You know what FINE stands for? Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
Freaked out,
Insecure,
neurotic,
and emotional.
So now she's in after getting her ID checked. So Steve is in lust right now, since Becky here is waiting for him to show her the problem. Becky has found the safe, but Steve tells her there's nothing to see there, since she's peeking in places where she shouldn't be peeking.
And find you standing there.
Oh, yeah.
He's hitting on her.
There's no problem.
And now left ear turns on the cable as Becky does nothing.
Japan's Nikkei index after
Perfect.
Leaving Steve asking her out.
You touched my hand.
It's okay, all part of the job.
And now on to the next scene as Lyle looks inside Steve's house as Charlie wants to know something.
Lyle!
The only answer's to the Napster now, Charlie.
why not? You call him Left Ear
Oh, I am.
and him Handsome Rob.
Touche. So Charlie asks him and now knows the distance between the safe and the door, which is 6 feet. No one here is 6 feet tall. Okay. I'm kidding. Okay, next scene, the guys are packing the car with weights inside Stella's car, I guess, to make it heavier. And now drives around to see if carrying heavy weights are efficient, and it does work. So now Rob brings a mechanic friend wrench, as he will help build more room inside these Mini Coopers. Again, that is one reference from the original Michael Caine version, is that he used the same colored Mini Coopers, 3 of them, but 60s models, like Mr. Bean time.
Hey. We didn't get a chance to meet yet.
Ham and cheese.
Oh, that's cold.
Okay. Lyle manages to switch off most of the traffic lights to green for the first time being during the job, and Lyle is so excited.
You want to do a dry run?
I thought you'd never ask.
And now the next scene, we see Steve again at Yevon's to see if he would like to buy more gold bars soon. And now Yevon is talking too much, and here slips out something about the gold bars.
You understand fine. Now, what do you know about my gold?
I don't.
Don't you even think about lying to me.
So of course Yevon has heard about a rumor of a heist that happened in Venice, about $35 million in gold bars, which Steve has. And he's pissed off and even kills Yevon for this. and wipes the fingerprints off of his equipment and hides from Yevon's colleague here. Which he will have to pay a heavier price later on, Steve, for killing Yevon there. So next scene, we are at a golf range for Charlie and Left Ear to meet Skinny Pete, who is not that skinny and a lot larger, so they are here for his help.
Don't stare. Huh? Don't stare. He doesn't like when people stare.
Stare at what?
I think he's scared, so they request for the supplies and the two walk out.
Some nitrogen and primer.
What's wrong?
Huh? Yo. No.
Okay, now we are at a car junk spot as this guy who used to work at Yevon's shop has mentioned to a guy who weighs 400 pounds about gold bars, came to see Yevon, which is of course Skinny Pete, but no one knows that. So no one knows when that occurred, so they leave Yevon's employee at this car crusher.
Do you know who I am?
Your mask off.
Who's actually Yevon's cousin. Is something about the Ukrainian guys asking about, the gold bars with the dancer, the same gold bars as Steve has, apparently has a dancer on them. So now that Steve is going on his date, now as Lyle gives the coast his clear signal.
This is it, guys. Come with the truth. Steve's neighbor's throwing a party.
Are you here for the Baker party, sir?
No.
She's on the date, looks like it's 5 a.m., and Steve is desperate to take her back home because, he wants to shag, as Austin Powers likes to say it.
I trust everyone. It's the devil inside them I don't trust.
Trust everyone. Just don't trust the devil inside them.
So yeah, the same copy-paste John Bridger quote Stella used on Steve here. She really screwed up there. He knows John Bridger did have a daughter during the Italian job. And she really up there, that's for sure.
Put a leash on your cat. Blew the element of surprise.
And still pays for the bill like a gentleman. Okay. And now she's back at home crying, staring at the practice lock she was supposed to work on. Alright, Simp, get back to work. Alright, next morning they're just hanging around and Lyle finds out that the rest of the gold that Steve didn't sell to Yevon is now being shipped to Mexico in a safe truck, and now that they have to watch its every move. So now Charlie gets a call from Skinny Pete telling him why he killed Yevon.
Why does he think that?
Because you want to know about the gold with the Balinese dancing.
You told him that?
But Charlie didn't kill him. I don't know why he's blaming him. So now his cousin's pissed off. He's actually part of the Ukrainian mafia or something. So now Charlie needs another favor as Left Ear is back to doing some work. Now Charlie brings in wrench again into the job since the Ukrainians are now involved. And now back in position as we see Steve flying a helicopter now across the Hollywood side. But there's more than one armored truck being moved here since it looks like the Ukrainians now know about Steve's gold stashing.
Houston, we have our truck. It is number 128.
Steve is not stupid. He needs decoy trucks so these guys don't know which truck is it exactly that has a gold bars inside it. And now changes all the traffic lights to green.
We've crashed.
Now Lyle leaves trademark, and now Steve knows that they are after the truck as it now moves. And now Lyle gives the 3 Mini Coopers the signal to get down the train track as they now drive off onto the Hollywood Walk of Fame and into this tight spot between the train stop. Again, so very similar to Michael Caine's version of the Italian Job. Whoa, that was clever. Blowing the road up like that in the perfect spot. Okay, that's pretty cool. And now Stella notices that Steve changed the lock to even more complicated one, and it will take her longer to crack. Steve has a guy on the bike to locate his safe as he looks on the road.
Do you want to see what's inside?
Absolutely.
And she did it after Charlie gives her some motivation, and they see a lot of gold bricks, leaving Lyle some math miscalculations with only $27 million left in gold. Nice. So Steve sold $8 million in gold bars so far. They managed to put the gold in all 3 Mini Coopers and drive off, just like the Michael Caine version. Steve's guards are on the bike and then are closing in behind them. Pretty sure that was a mission just like this in GTA 5. And Charlie is just trapped now and almost made it out with Steve now in his way. So Charlie escapes on the side, and now Steve steals a car and is now chasing the guys. And now the chase continues with only about 7 minutes left in the movie. And now Steve has made it too, sneaking around. And here comes Steve out in the open.
Half now, half when you help me unload.
Charlie actually brought Yevon's cousin here, and he knows someone killed his cousin, and it wasn't Charlie. So Steve is scared now and makes lies up that Yevon was already killed.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, sweetheart.
And now we ended here as the guys have champagne, and now with the credits showing everyone their ending to this job, and Charlie ends up with Stella Bridger back in Italy. You know, like John said, spend your life with someone you care about, blah blah blah.
He got off with a warning.
And that's it. That's the Italian Job 2003. I've seen clips of the original 1969 Italian Job movie. That's why I have included some of those references. But you know, speaking of that will be my next video, the original Italian Job from 1969. Stay tuned for that. As you have noticed, my uploads haven't been frequent. I do work full time, and you do have to avoid copyrights before uploading the videos. You know, uploads will try to be as frequent as possible from now on. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned in the short section for my next set of videos. Take care. See you soon. Watch away. And I'll see you soon in the original Italian Job.